kids. Grandpaw Koyote. Coming to you once again here from where? The Rocky Mountain High. Ah, it's good coffee. Not quite on top of the mountain, but rather close. And babies, I'm still working on the YouTube video live thing, you know, so we can do live video right here from the old coyote den and answer your questions as we go along and chatter back and forth a bit, you know, and have ourselves a great time. I may have to upgrade equipment again yet, I don't know, but I keep working on it. Just hang in there. We will have live YouTube video presentations soon. So kids, we're here talking about the changes that are upon us. I know there's a lot of information out there, especially on the internet, about what's really going on. And we get all kinds of channelings from different people that, you know, claim to have the inside track and know what's going on. We get a lot of different stories, and some of them even seem corroborated by geological history and stuff, you know. In other words, some of the stuff they're digging up in Africa corroborates some of the stories that are told, you know, about Nibiru and slaves getting gold and things like that. Well, I can't say there was never such a stage in humanity, because I think there was. I've been back in time and looked at it, you know, where people were reduced to almost a Cro-Magnon status. And they were essentially just a slave race. But it was a very short span in history. It wasn't our beginning. We were begun way ahead of that. In fact, this change that we're going through takes us back to the beginning, where we are these enlightened beings that make no allowances for suffering. This is something we've chosen to experience ourselves, to go through as humans, as life, as the love that we are, for the benefit of all, else we wouldn't be here. And it gives us great joy to live as humans. But someone wrote me, you know, yesterday and asked me about, you know, who can you believe out there? You get all these channelings, who can you believe? Well, all I can tell you is I quit listening to them a long time ago. All of them. Well, not a long time ago, about a year ago or so. I guess that's a long time to some people. But about a year or so ago, I just realized that it wasn't coming through pure. I don't know that it ever did. I sure resonated with a lot of it, Salusa in particular. But there's sure a lot of them out there that seem to me like just a bunch of phony baloney. They got good words, they got good ideas and concepts, you know, but they wrap them around a little untruthfulness. The one thing I can tell you is we don't want to give our power to any ETs, no matter how benevolent they may appear to be or how they resonate with us. If they resonate with us, they won't want our power. And if they do want our power, there's something wrong with that equation. So, you know, if there are some stunning revelations, just be wary, just be wise, be in your heart. Do the same thing if you read these channelings from all these different people. Keep a visible perspective inside of what's really going on inside of yourself. Check your heart, your inner knowing, your consciousness again and again. And you know, you don't always get it right. We're still learning to interpret that. But the closer we get, the easier it gets. It's not getting tougher, though some people might think so because of the retrograde and everything. But that's just something we're going through. It's like the bottom's falling out from under us, you know, as far as this life goes. And what we've always relied on as a good set of behaviors to get us by in this world no longer exists. You know, when we try to use them, employ them, they go away. But we can step inside of ourselves. We can see, we can know. Step past the fear and the judgment that you've held on yourself and others. Just walk right into this heart. It's not the easiest thing on earth to be doing. because there seems still to be a lot of opposition. And the world around us seems so dark and deadly. You know, the government's out of control, the corporations going nuts. Looks like we're going to get radiated pretty strongly from Japan, you know. I mean, it could poison the whole earth, you know. But especially us here in the U.S. of A, because we're, you know, the next in line. We're the direct hit, you know. I tell you, if I lived on the West Coast, I'd be thinking about moving. About now, yeah. In fact, way before now, back when that first happened, I would have exited stage left real quick. You know what I mean? Gone, gone, gone. But, as in everything, nothing here is what it appears to be. And there are those here who are truthfully in contact with the ETs that are benevolent and are on our side, that are actually a part of our family, not our parents. You know, there's a lot of what we would call ET blood mixed in with the human race, ET genetics, let's say, mixed in with the human race. But there is no direct correlation between humanity and any other ET race as far as parentage or lineage goes. Our lineage goes back to the beginning. We came forward from the ocean of the Mother Earth. We're human from beginning, right from the start. Well, of course, we're human to the extent that we live it here. We're truthfully great spirits who hang out with great spirit, who are great spirit, and who be conducting a divine mission of love by being human, by coming here and accepting everything that comes with this package, and it's not easy. Everyone that lives here is a saint. I've told you that a million times, but it's true. And I just want to remind you again and again and again, until you start to get it. And then I'm going to shut the fuck up and go away. Because I won't be needed this way anymore, and I'll go do something more fun than that. Though I can't imagine what it'd be unless it's partying down with you folks, all enlightened and having a blast. That's where we need to be, guys. So, understand, you know, I don't know if you've seen my video called The Trap Door. I kind of explained it a little bit in there in a coyote sort of way about how the secret governmental types have been fooled again and again. They think they've got some really super technology and that they're traveling all over the universe, etc. But they're just being used by energies of love to go out and collect together some energies that need to come back to this earth, and they come back with them. And you will see some of the darkest beings, when this transition hits, become some of the brightest souls. Because it takes strong souls, like I've told you a lot, to get through a life of darkness. The newbies can't do it. You know, they'll only take so much of it beyond their way. But the old souls, those that have been around and experienced a lot of life, not just as human, but as a lot of other applications, let's say. Because a lot of what we see here, you know, you accept easily the fact that Earth, this reality we live in, could be a holographic matrix. That we could be living in some kind of self-generating video game reality. It seems real enough. You knock on something, you feel the solidness of it. You pinch yourself, you feel pain. You know, you go through life. You feel it heavy on you all the time. Well, until you start to lighten up, that is. And so it has the substance of reality to it. But just, it's a perception. It's a very strong one, but it is a perception. The more you come inside yourself, the more you're able to connect with your heart, the more you're going to see beyond the structure of this reality. And one day you'll be walking through walls like they're not even there, because they're not. These things we take so much time and energy to build are just there for our amusement, our entertainment. our pleasure when we can grab it, you know? The more you see inside, the less you will see of this outside world, and the more you will be at peace. Because you will see then, if it is indeed a holographic matrix, it's easy to change it. It's easy to step out of it, or do whatever it is we need to do to correct whatever behaviors we need to correct here, to unpoison the earth and the atmosphere and so forth. But first we unpoison it in here. But the reason I'm talking like this is to kind of explain the ET thing to you. You see, we live in this matrix on this earth, and like I say, we can accept that. But you got to think that this matrix, you know, could be like a great big old terrarium. And all that we see around us, including the planets and stars and so forth, could be, and more than likely is, a part of the divine matrix in which we live. So then, here on earth, we've been seeing, we're learning as we go through this process that most of what we see and do here is not real. The truth is 180 degrees opposite most of the time. You know what I mean? What you're seeing here is not what you're getting. Well, it's the same with the outer space dudes and dudettes, let's call them. You know, it's all a part of the matrix, you know. Some of these are angelic mechanics that sneak in here and help us out a lot by rearranging energies and time frames so that specific moments do or don't happen, and humanity as a result is affected in a more positive direction. You know, we've done a lot of that, some of us as humans, many times over. This is what we do here. So the ETs really are a part of the illusion. Yes, there is spirit family. Yes, there is star family. Yes, we exist on a far different plane at a different level than what we experience here. And there's no way I can possibly describe it to you except to say that it's far different than what we know. And it is a part of what we call divine union, the coming together of everything, the letting go of nothing, the experience of all in one moment. You see, so we're really these existential beings that are the divine creation and a part of it. And here's our little tiny earth reality here. And a single person there is larger than the whole thing in which we live. You know, in a perspective sense. We have more power than you could possibly imagine, but it's given through the purity of love, and therefore it's never misdirected. And therefore, no matter how rotten it seems here, no matter how much hell we've had to go through, and do still go through at times, we understand we're purifying ourselves through the fires of hell, yeah. But you can't get to heaven without it. You can't appreciate paradise till you've been through hell. It's real simple. And getting back to the ET thing, don't let them fool you. You know, some are thinking there's going to be some staging going on, that there's going to be a false race of ETs show up that seem real benevolent and really want to enslave humanity. Well, gee whiz, if such a thing should start to happen, use your inner knowing. Use your eyes, your heart. Feel what's there. Just like you would with any other being, notice that you do feel. And that you do know in that feeling everything about him. Everything. And you can't be deceived. You might want to gather together in small groups. Practice these easy meditative techniques I've talked about together. But mostly it's individual still. But the gathering is to share energies, to combine your energies. And we're doing it right here anyway. But to combine your energies so that you can project a loving image, as we explained before, out to those who may seem to oppose us and want to restrict us and keep us enslaved, you know. So we end the dynamic of their paradigm right along with our own little personal hell. Everything reduces to that. So it's real simple. And you can do the same thing with the channelings. Personally, like I said, I just quit reading them, quit looking at them. There is one little gal in California that gives some updates. I'll check that out every now and then just to see what they're up to. But that's about it, you know. It's obvious to anybody that's semi-awake or starting to awake and beyond that, that we are moving into an ascendant time. That our times of weariness and aloneness are just about at a point of completion. That is obvious to those who are awake. And those that are sleeping don't need to see it coming. We'll sleepwalk them right into it. They're of the weaker natured souls, those that are just beginning and starting to learn and grow. So they go through this a little differently than those that do know. You know, those that have awakened at least somewhat. I'd be real wary, too, of any communication with ETs unless you feel it. If you know it's the love and the life, well, then you're in. The one thing you want to keep in mind in this ET area, those that are called extraterrestrials, is to never let them have the upper hand. They don't need it. They don't really want it. Sometimes they're motivated by forces we can't even understand yet, but we will. And we are gaining it. But understand, too, that inside of you is the ultimate power within everything. It's not over everything, it's within everything. And when you approach it like that from a loving standpoint, then you're in charge. The heart that lives inside of you, that is collective with everyone that lives, is in charge. And so as we're going through our little melodrama here of making peace with ETs and so forth, we're engaged on that level and will unify the playing field. We are the ultimate power on that basis. And no one, no thing, no ET, no matter how far advanced technologically they may seem, has it over on us or needs to take charge of anything here. Now, in terms of Earth reality, sure, nothing wrong with employing their technologies to help us out, like with our radiation spills and our oil spills, as this insanity comes to a close. But people, we can look at these things and we can change them. Remember the old biblical saying about the faith of a mustard seed and all that. Well, it's true, but it's not faith. It's knowing. It's living. When you live in this dynamic of love, when you can embrace that in yourself as the truth, when it is your life that you're living, then you're back in those stages of being so gracious in love. You can heal anything. And like I said, you might want to gather together in small groups. We can do it over the internet. We can do it anyway. Physically compounds the power of it because our energies are all gathered there together, you see. And we can project love waves, energy waves, healing waves to any difficulty we might be encountering, including Fukushima and all the radiation coming from there. We can heal the oceans and the skies. We can completely eliminate the crap they've been spraying up there. We can tune into our sun and recognize that we are the divine union of sun, sky, and earth. That right here in the center of us is the junction of the universe. Everything comes together in the heart. That's where it originates. That's where it ends, though there is no end. We continue onward forever and ever because there is no time. It's relative. We'll get to this point soon where we can experience in a singular moment all of the span of what we call history, this experience in what we call time. And we'll do that in a singular moment. Experience everything that ever has or will go on here in a singular moment. And we can do that because we do it in the gracious love. We understand then in that singular moment that it is all love. And in that understanding, we purify our view of it, and the whole perspective changes. So you lose your earth in that sense, and you gain your Mother Earth, who is the paradise, the existential paradise in which we live. I know that's stretching it a bit far for some of you. Some of you are right in the wavelengths. Don't worry about where you are with this. Just be with it in any way that you can be. Accept it into the heart as the graceful truth of yourself. When you see it, when you live it, you know it. There is not anything here that cannot be corrected, recreated, through the practice of genuine love applied through the central heart inside of us all. Now think about that for a while. Think about what you can do here. And stop looking outside of yourself for help, solutions, answers. They're all right there inside of you. So keep on rocking, babies. Keep on searching that inner world. And don't be too alarmed by what you see going on outside of you. Some shocking and stunning moments are coming. It's all part of the revelation of divine truth. Be ready for whatever comes your way. Be ready to move in a moment's notice. Do what you have to do. Not just to survive. Let go of survival. Step into thrive. Oh, begin to thrive because you feel good inside of yourself. You understand some of the more deep and guiding principles in this life that come through your heart that aren't written in any books. And there is no majesty or magic out there that can possess them. It's you. It's who you are. It's what you are. Be that because you are love. And we love you. Take care, kids. Catch you next time. Rock.